guys, welcome back to another video for Gun Nation United. It is your boy Leon with Guns and Creator here. Today's video is going to be an interesting one. Sort of a comparison to real life, but a character from an anime. Now the topic is going to be archery. Not a very popular topic, I'm sure, but this character is, at his core, an archer. Isn't that right, Guns?
Yep.
And so, the character we are going to be comparing him now, in our opinion, the closest thing we can compare him to in real life is a competition archer. That's our opinion. In our honest opinion, we don't think he's more comparable to more of a hunter or a different type of archer. And the character we are going to be comparing to is Uryu Ishida from the anime Bleach. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you who have seen this anime because it's one of those OG classics.
Big three.
Exactly.
And it's returning.
That is true. They are finally going to be bringing back Bleach and including the 1,000-year Blood War arc, which should be very interesting.
Can't wait.
But on to this. In case any of you have not seen Bleach, Uryu Ishida was, that typical loner brainiac of the class. One of the top students, best grades, smart ass. Pretty much. I mean, I'm not wrong, am I, Guns?
No. I was just gonna say he's definitely like that. Matter of fact, when he was introduced, he and Ichigo didn't quite get along so well. And then you find out the bad stories about the Quincy's versus the Soul Reapers, and unfortunately what the Soul Reapers did to the Quincy's back in the Dizay, and all that stuff. But they managed to work out their problems with Fist, just like all friends do.
Of course. Like the best of friends. But in case any of you don't know, originally before the Soul Reapers, there was a group known as the Quincy's. In a way, you could kind of call them the original Hollow Hunters. Except for one little thing, which is what, Greeter?
So, the Soul Reapers cleansed the Hollows to get them through to the Soul Society, unless they were evil before they died. Whereas the Quincy's kill not the Hollow and the Soul attached to the Hollow. And the big debate in the manga and the anime was that, well, by doing that, you're disrupting the balance and the flow of the life and the death in the world or the universe, afterlife, whatever.
Pretty much what he's trying to say is what the Soul Reapers felt the Quincy's were messing with the natural balance of life, death, and in the middle. They were throwing it out of synchrony, out of balance, typical stuff like that.
After negotiation efforts were done and failed because they didn't want to negotiate, they wanted to keep their traditions, the Soul Society kind of committed genocide to all Quincy's.
Yeah, not one of their greatest moments.
With our boy here being the last Quincy, until you have to read the manga or see the upcoming anime to find out the rest.
But so pretty much that was just us giving you a little backstory on him now. For Uryu Ishida, of course, he is a Quincy, so with if I remember correctly, most Quincy's use mainly one of them use range type weapons, or at least that's what we thought, because the only one we would ever see in action in the anime was Uryu here, and of course, any weapon that he used was bow related. But of course, now what we're gonna compare is, I guess, some key factors that a lot of competition archery use. Creator, you mind telling us a few key factors of that?
Sure. So, modern day competitive archery involves shooting arrows at a target for accuracy and precision from a set distance or distances. This is the first popular form of competitive archery worldwide and is called target archery. A form particularly popular in Europe and America is field archery. Shoot arrows generally set at velocity or various distances in wooded settings. There are also several other lesser known as historical forms, as well as archery games. The World Archery Federation, composed of 156 national federations and other archery associations, is the governing body recognized by International Olympic Committee. So, modern competitive target archery is often governed by World Archery Federation. Olympics rules are diverse from the Federation's rules. Target archery competitions may be held indoors or outdoors. Indoors are 8 meters, approximately about 20 yards. Outdoor distances range from 25 to 90 meters, 27 to 28 yards. Competition is divided into ends of 3 or 6 arrows. After each end, the competitors walk to the targets to score and retrieve their arrows. Archers have a set time limit in which to shoot their own arrows. 3 arrows are shot in 2 minutes and 6 in 4 minutes. Targets are marked with 10 evenly spaced rings, which have score values from 1 to 10 assigned to them. In addition, there is an inner 10 ring, sometimes called the X. This becomes the 10 ring at indoor compound competitions. Outdoors, it serves as a tiebreaker when an archer scoring the most X's wins. Archers score each N by summing the scores for their arrows. Line breakers, an arrow just touching a scoring boundary line, will be rewarded the higher scores. So that is target archery, the most popular form of competitive archery. Now, there's also several different types, which you can look up on your own free merit. We'll just went over the most popular and the most traditional, but they also have field archery and other traditional competitions that can be found among the world of archery.
Very informative, Greeter. Now, to give you a little grasp on Uryu's, I guess, abilities before we see if he would be see if we could transfer him to real life competitive archery. Uryu is a Quincy, but he uses the most common power and ability of the Quincy, a bow named the Lone Sparrow, or in, I guess, Japanese, Kojaku, composed of spiritual energy. Pretty much his bow is comprised of, I guess if you would call it, life energy. All of the stuff around, supposedly around them in Bleach. But
Right.
pretty fancy mystical stuff. But I mean,
pretty much
still,
their chakra or key or whatever,
if you want, whatever you want to call it. But of course, as he progresses, I guess he gets an upgrade to it. Because during the Arrancar arc, Uryu uses a new Quincy cross and a variation of the original bow called Lone Sparrow on a silver clip, or Ginre Kojaku. Now, unlike his original bow, this bow is shaped like a spiderweb and can fire up to 1,200 shots at once. Pretty impressive, but I don't think there's an actual person in real life that could fire that many shots, and especially at once. Just being honest here, right, Greeter?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I mean, not competition-wise anyway.
But yeah, so pretty much Uryu is an archer, but he uses not just a bow, he uses other sort of abilities and stuff that Quincy's can use. But we're here to try and see if Uryu would be in real life, minus the Quincy abilities, would make a very good competition archer.
So, before we go into the rules, I think if Guns wouldn't mind just going over a simple compound bow to see how his Quincy cross or his Quincy bow compares to a real life compound bow. Guns, if you would.
In modern archery, a compound bow is a bow that uses a levering system, usually of cables and pulleys, to bend the limbs. In general, compound bows are widely used in target practice and in hunting. The pulley system grants the user a mechanical advantage, and so the limbs of a compound bow are much stiffer than those of a recurve bow or long bow.
Cool. Thank you for that, Guns. Now, can our boy here compete in a modern competition archery? Well, I think you guys would say, in order to see if our boy can, we should pull up the best archer, or to be considered one of the greatest archers, and see how we think our boy could do. You know what I mean?
I think that'd be a great idea, Greeter.
Let's see. After some research, I found that one of the greatest archers ever, named Kim So Nang, I think is how you say it. It'll be on screen or whatever. But so Kim So Yang, born April 5th, 1971, is a former member of the South Korean Olympic archery team in 1988, 1992, and 2000. She has earned a total of 4 gold medals at the Olympics. One for the individual event in 1988, and 3 in the team events of 88, 92, and 2000. She won a former silver medal in 92 and bronze in 2000, both for individual events. She retired after the 92 Olympics to marry and raise 2 children, resuming her training in 99 and the lead up to the 2000 Summer Olympics. She competed at the 1986 Asian Games, winning a golden medal in team event and bronze in individual. She also won 2 consecutive individual and team world championships in 89 and 91. In 2011, Kim was declared the female archer of the 20th century by the International Olympic Federation.
Wow, that's some pretty serious stats right there.
Yeah. So, based on all the evidence and trying to transfer to real life based on his skill set from the anime, I think, based on all the evidence that we have went over today, I think it's fairly confident to say that our boy could definitely surpass the greats and definitely make it to Olympics level and do very well and smoke the competition.
I think so too.
Now, granted, he is an anime character and not a real life human. However, if we're taking into account the accuracy, the technique, the precision, and all that stuff, and his years and years and years and years and years of training. Not to mention, people don't understand that in life-threatening situations, in life-threatening situations, that's a lot harder to shoot a gun, let alone a bow and arrow, at a target and be precise and accurate with it. So I think transferring all that stuff, it's very easy to say that during a regular competition, he could definitely smoke it. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think so too, because if I know he's an anime character, but if we look at his feats in the anime, he's got some pretty significant wins in his corner.
And not only that, but a very important thing to consider here is his training and determination. And I know that he gets stronger throughout the anime and the manga, but I don't know if everybody remembers this or not, but before he went to the Soul Society, he actually refused to train with the group and got tremendously more stronger on his own. And I think it was 10 days or something?
If I'm correct, 10 days. If not, please be gentle with us in the comments, people.
Yeah, but it was something along those lines, right? It was about that time frame. It was like a week and a half, a week, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but when they got to the Soul Society, do you remember his first? Well, okay, not his first battle, but he ended up taking and soloing a captain of the Soul Society on his own.
And those guys aren't pushovers, let me tell you, folks.
No, and they had way more combat experience than he did. And as I stated, going up against an enemy and trying to pull the trigger, let alone an arrow, especially when they have more combat experience than you, it's not an easy task to do.
Takes a serious skill set.
Yeah, when you're in a life and death situation like that, it's very hard to be accurate and precise. I think he could obviously transfer that to a competition and do tremendously well, because at that point he'll be even less stressed, so he'll be more accurate and precise than he would be in a life or death situation, which he was already pretty damn accurate in.
That is true.
Guns, what are your thoughts?
I agree with you.
I agree with it also.
So, I think that pretty much settles it, and I think we should sign our boy up to the Olympics. But why don't you guys, the viewers, leave your thoughts and comments in the description below. And in the meantime, why don't you guys kick back, crap open a cold broski, and remember to golden rule.
And what golden rule would that be, Creator?
I'm glad you asked, Guns. The golden rule is to always remember, keep your beer ice cold and your ammo freshly hot. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Later.